How's the weather in September, October and November? Can I swim? Is it still crowded with tourists? Are the prices lower than in the summer? Hello everyone, my name is Olga. In this video I will show you both cities so you can decide when and where to go on a holiday in autumn. On my channel you will also find many videos with practical advice about life and traveling in Turkey during every season of the year. So let's waste no time and answer the questions about traveling to Turkey in autumn. First one, and the most common that I get, is how's the weather in September, October and November? Alanya and Antalya have pretty similar weather. Alanya might be slightly hotter. Most of the time in September it's very hot during the day. In the morning it was slightly better, so we would always have breakfast outside on our balcony. And in September you don't need a jacket even in the evening. But compared to the summer months, the humidity is less and the weather after sunset is much more comfortable. Slowly, towards the end of the month, even the day heat becomes less and it's much more comfortable to be outside during the day. And October is the best time of the year in Antalya and Alanya, in my opinion. It is still warm and sunny, we still wear summer clothes, but it's no longer unbearably hot in the middle of the day. I think October is best time to do sightseeing, hikes, exploring nature, doing sports outside. End of October and November are the last truly warm months, and we start wearing jackets and jeans, especially in the evening. But the weather is still quite comfortable all the way till December, and during the day it even feels like summertime in the Northern Europe. So next question is, can I swim in September, October and November? And the answer is yes, you can. September is the same as the summertime. Water is very warm. All the beaches are open, all the activities on the beaches like water sports, they are available, and in hotels the pools are still working. That of course goes both for Alanya and Antalya. October it starts getting less warm, but still comfortable to swim. Beach becomes less busy than in the summer, but there are still quite some people. And I went through my footage and was surprised that even at the beginning of November last year, people were still swimming in Antalya. But I do remember as well that pools and hotels were closing down by middle of October, so keep that in mind. Is it still crowded with tourists in September and October? These months, they are still considered to be high season in Antalya and Alanya because of the warm weather and the warm sea. But I did notice that in September and October it was less people than now in the summertime. September in Alanya beaches were still full, and when I went sightseeing, it was quite busy there. But in October in Antalya there were noticeably less tourists than in the summertime, and mostly I think because the school holidays are over. But if you can take time off work, I think October is one of the best months to come, both for the beach and for the sightseeing. And you will get the combination of milder weather than in the summer, still warm sea, and it will be less crowded with tourists. October, everything is still open, beach cafes and restaurants, bars, all the museums, everything will be available. I know that in low season, and it starts somewhere in November, many places in Alanya close down, and basically all life in that city is in the old city area. But Antalya is a bigger city, and here many foreigners like us live the whole year. In Alanya, of course, too, there are many foreigners who choose to stay throughout the year, but it's less than in Antalya. So in Antalya, even in November and later in the winter, there are things to do here. For example, sightseeing. the cable cars are working, you can easily rent a car and drive around. Cafes right on the beach are closed, but you still have them open along the beach promenade. And of course, the big restaurants in the city, they stay open throughout the year. So it's definitely not empty in Antalya, even if you are not in the city center. Are the prices lower than in the summertime? Because September and October are still high season, prices overall are not really lower. And Alanya is generally more expensive than Antalya, and I would even say that Antalya is one of the most affordable beach destinations in Turkey. So far, when we go to Side, Alanya, Marmaris, Bodrum recently, everywhere it's more expensive in restaurants. And because of high inflation, I cannot really compare prices from last year and this year, because also the exchange rate changed drastically. But what we did notice last year, after September and October, even with inflation being high, the prices did not grow so fast. And I mean prices in local currency, in Turkish lira. So the prices we had, for example, in September and October, they would increase little by little, month by month. But now, this year, once the high season started again in April, May, we see that the prices, especially in restaurants, but also in shops too, they are growing almost every week or two. We even notice it at our local produce market. Every week it's another 2, 3, 5 lira more expensive. So the major difference with high and low season is that in high season prices, they just skyrocket, even though the exchange rate is not growing so fast. But in low season, in winter, they grow much slower. And you have to understand, especially if you come from a country where your currency is stable, that here the major factor that influences the prices is the inflation. So as long as local currency, Turkish lira, keeps dropping, the prices in Turkish lira will be growing. But as I said before, the major difference between high and low season that I noticed is that in high season, prices in local currency increase much faster. As for hotels and apartments for rent, I think October is definitely better price-wise. And of course, in the winter, the hotels are the cheapest. And for everyone who is coming to Turkey for long term, I think winter is the best time, and in the summer you will get a high rent price, and then you are stuck with it for the whole year, and in the winter it will be the opposite. So do you have any more questions about Turkey in autumn? Give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below.